Exactly 11:58 p.m., my phone lit up. Lose the attitude or lose your 150,000 pounds bonus. The message came from the vice president himself. No greeting, no explanation. Just a threat. I stared at the screen for a few seconds before typing a single word. Copy. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. By 8:01 the next morning, my company laptop displayed only 2 words. Access denied. 30 minutes later, the legal director burst into the boardroom so fast his chair crashed onto the floor. Then he shouted the sentence that changed everyone's face. Please tell me he didn't build the scheduler. That's when the people who tried to replace me discovered the one secret nobody had bothered to ask. My name is Oliver, and for almost 9 years, I worked for one of London's fastest-growing logistics companies. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't political. I wasn't the loudest person in meetings. But every overnight delivery, every warehouse schedule, every automatic driver assignment, every emergency reroute depended on one system, the scheduler. Everyone assumed the software belonged to the company. Technically, they were right, but only one person understood every line of code after years of custom modifications. Me? Whenever management praised record profits, they thanked executives. Whenever customers received packages early, they congratulated the sales team. Nobody ever mentioned the engineer working nights to keep everything alive. Then a new vice president arrived. He believed experience was expensive. His solution was simple. Replace senior staff with cheaper employees. Within weeks, several experienced workers were dismissed. I became his next target. Every meeting became personal. He mocked my ideas, interrupted presentations, ignored security warnings. Then came the midnight message threatening my bonus if I didn't fix my attitude. I knew exactly what it meant. They wanted obedience. Instead, I replied with one word, copy. The next morning, I logged into my account. Access denied. My company email was disabled. Building pass canceled. Phone disconnected. Without even speaking to me, they had fired the only engineer who knew how the scheduling engine actually worked. At first, I laughed. Not because I wanted revenge, because I knew what was about to happen. Around 9:30 a.m., delivery routes stopped updating. By 10:15, hundreds of lorries waited without assignments. Warehouse scanners started rejecting shipments. Drivers couldn't receive new routes. Customer service phones exploded. Executives blamed IT. IT blamed the cloud provider. The cloud provider proved everything was healthy. Then someone finally opened the system documentation. Half the pages simply read, "Contact Oliver." By lunchtime, legal called. I ignored it. HR emailed. No reply. The VP demanded someone force me to answer. And legal discovered something even worse. Every custom module had complete documentation. Every license belonged to the company. But every future update required the original developer because nobody else had the architecture knowledge. Panic spread across headquarters. The same VP who threatened my bonus now wanted an emergency meeting. They offered my job back. I politely declined. Then they doubled the salary. Still no. Finally, they offered a consulting contract worth more in 1 month than my previous annual bonus. This time, I agreed. Not because I needed them, because my terms were simple. Respect. Professional treatment. No midnight threats. No bullying. Everything in writing. Legal approved every condition within 20 minutes. When I returned, nobody looked at me the same way again. The VP avoided eye contact. Executives who ignored my advice suddenly wanted my opinion. Within 3 weeks, the system was stable again. 6 months later, the vice president quietly left the company. No farewell email. No celebration. Just gone. The board eventually admitted one painful truth. Technology can be copied. Experience cannot. Respect cannot. Trust cannot. People think power comes from job titles, expensive offices, or intimidating emails. It doesn't. Real power comes from becoming so valuable that your integrity, knowledge, and professionalism cannot be replaced overnight. The vice president believed fear would make me obedient. Instead, it exposed how little he understood the business he was trying to control. They threatened my bonus at 11:58 p.m. By the next morning, they were negotiating from a position of desperation. Never confuse silence with weakness. Sometimes the quietest employee is the one holding the entire company together.